This is a message to our Governor Ivy. This is a message to our Senator Jones. And this is a message to our Congressman Byrne. This is a message to all congressmen and ladies of the United States of America. And this is a message for our President Trump and his entire staff at the White House. I am not a terrorist. I am not a spy. I am not threatening. This is simply a message to you. My son is being held hostage here in the state of Alabama by the Department of Human Services. He is being tortured with disease, exposure to disease. He was purposely placed under the care of a worker whom I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about this young lady. All I know is that since she has taken over the case of my son, Alexander, she has transferred him to these different homes to include living with a single older man. And all of this is done to provoke anger so that I look like a deranged, irate person who's not quote-unquote cooperating with the system. My son was placed with this single man, and I was made to look like I am a volatile person. My son has been exposed to some skin disease purposely. These kids in the D.H.R. system are exposed to viruses and bacteria, and you know it. You know that this is a God-forsaken ghetto system that is dated. This is not the way to be putting Black Afro-Americans to work. My son has a bacterial infection, and the caseworker keeps telling me, well, the doctor doesn't know what it is. And Alexander just needs to stop scratching. The reason why Alexander was switched from that older man's home was because that man supposedly got sick. I don't know what disease that man had. My son started flaring out with a skin bacterial infection, and these doctors are doing the Medicaid kidnap and experimenting on kids with different diseases. I am warning you, this is not a joke. I need my son returned to me, even if I'm not stable, even if I don't have a place to live. I need my son returned to me, and for us to go in a proper living situation. I will not have this anymore. I don't know anything about this caseworker. I don't know anything about these case workers that these kids get switched around. These kids, when they outgrow this God-forsaken ghetto system that is dated and is a waste of our American money, these kids end up in jail for crimes they either did or did not commit. They have been molested, and God knows what else, all kinds of exposure to bacteria and viruses on purpose, using them as guinea pigs for the scientific community. I was not able to take a photo of my son yesterday because my phone was full. But this is just I have posted photos of this on Facebook, and I'm not able to let you see for some reason. But I will post these on Facebook and share them with you. My son has a skin condition and it has gotten worse. I am not opposed to medication for the right person at the right time through the right route, the right patient for the right reasons in the right dosage. I'm not opposed to medication that is done properly. I am opposed to you taking kids away from parents based on false allegations before getting a court order. You do it backward. You pick up kids and then you get a court order a few days later. You switch these kids around to and from these different foster homes where they get exposed to different viruses and bacteria and are being medically experimented with because they're the guinea pigs, because they're foster kids, basically owned by the state. Without a voice, these kids are not heard in court. When I stayed with Miss Diane Miller, I offered her money while I worked full time. And she said to me, "No, Susan, save your money so you can get your own place." I said, "But I want to live here since you are a Christian person and you have a healing room here in Mobile, Alabama." She said, "Well, no, I just don't want to go through a background check." Her and her husband both are in the foster care adoption industry. They have adopted both their children. And Miss Mack, who was the third caseworker, I have both of them recorded because all phone calls are monitored and recorded for quality assurance, for quality purposes. This is a warning to you. It is not a threat. This is a message to our governors, to all congressmen and ladies, all senators, and president and his entire staff. I need my son returned to me because I have never threatened anyone. I am not a threat to this country. I am simply telling you that there's a lot of corruption in your face that you are choosing to ignore. You are choosing to ignore because these kids not only get prostituted, they get experimented with, they don't have a voice, and then they end up in jail because nobody has ever looked after these kids. These caseworkers and guardian ad litems are a joke. They go with the system because they are with the corruption. They don't care what they have to do, whose kids they have to steal to feed it to the god of Molech, otherwise known as the states, so that they can buy their Gucci purses and get their hair done and their manicures. Well, listen here. I color my own hair. I don't go to the salon. I don't get my nails done or my pedicure done. I don't have diamonds. I buy my own stone and I buy my own vessel. And I myself choose my own jeweler to put this expensive looking ring together for less than $100. Because I am an intelligent woman who knows how to manage my money. And I deserve a job. And I deserve for you to recognize that I've been cheated out of a job and out of my income and out of my son. My son has been exposed to viruses and bacteria and God knows what else these kids have been exposed to in these foster homes where they're the ones who need the money. These caseworkers and people in the exchange program that teach the parents how to be better parents, all of that, they're the ones that need the money. I don't do drugs, never have. I don't drink to get drunk. I don't squander my money around. I buy from the health food store what I need. Okay? And I want my son with me, returned to me, because he was picked up without a court order based on allegations that I was potentially suicidal. Y'all killed Nancy Schaefer because she spoke against D.H.R. CPS corruption. Our very government is killing people who are speaking about child trafficking, like Chris Cornell, Avicii, and Anthony Bourdain. You will kill your own. You threaten one another behind closed doors. You are cowards because you are scared of one another. I am not going to be threatened with, oh, somebody called saying you're potentially suicidal, so when I'm found dead in a hotel, that, oh, she had psychological problems. Miss Ballerino had psychological issues. In fact, she wanted to commit suicide. We have it all recorded. Well, I am here to record over your recordings. I am here to write over your writing. I will not be your victim, and my son and children in the D.H.R. system are not going to be your victims anymore. They deserve to be heard in court, and not after they're in jail, or end up homeless, or end up molested because you have sold them to and from the different molesters. I have spoken.